So for people on this show who aren't familiar with your background, give them a little bit of the story. You're one of like the country's most notorious diamond thieves.
Well, you know that we put thief because it was a word that's actually better searched. I was the biggest jewel robber in the country. Okay. Still am known as the biggest jewel robber in the country. I robbed 15 to 18 million. I was hooked up with organized crime. I wouldn't tell on anybody. I ended up going to prison for 4 12-year sentences. And that people ask, oh, why did you go for 4 sentences? Because if I win one on an appeal, I still got to do the time. That's why people go, why does this guy get 3 life sentences? He can't die 3 times. No, but if he wins one of those life sentences on appeal, he's still got life. So that's how they do that. But I ended up going away in 1996, and I didn't get out till 2007. You guys were all young.
Yeah.
And your sound guy and your guy, he was
still
in
diapers, yeah.
Actually, when I went to prison, he wasn't even born. No, he wasn't, because my daughter was only 18 months, and she was born in 95. And I have a great relationship with my kids. But my son was 6, I got out, and he was 18. And my daughter was 15 months old, and I got out. She was 13 years old. So, I mean, that's why I do what I do, to try to help people and stuff like that, you know. But I was a bad guy. I don't fucking, try to sugarcoat that. You didn't want to run across me back in my day. I would lay people's arms on curbs and snap them.
Jesus Christ.
I was the kind of guy you didn't want to. But I didn't hurt civilians. We called it civilians.
Okay. Only people in the business.
Yeah. If you were a drug dealer, you were a bookie, you wanted to be a criminal, you didn't want to fucking run across me. It was that's the way I was. Now, of course, as you know me, and I help a lot of people. A lot of people say, oh, you only started YouTube a year ago. And it's true.
You only started doing YouTube a year ago. And you have over 1 million subscribers on your channel. Your channel's huge. You do all kinds of really cool videos.
And we're actually trying new things, expanding new things. We have now, obviously, the podcast and the TikTok and everything else.
Yeah, you're killing it, man.
But what we did, and we're trying new things. We got a great manager in Peter, and a great team with my son and Darian and Teresa. Everybody who's there, we want to try new things. So that's why I try to tell people, try it. It might work. We tried gaming. What the fuck does Larry know about gaming? I didn't grow up with gaming.
Yeah.
But what I did was, guys wanted it. My audience wanted it. The followers wanted it. And we expanded. And I got into gaming. I mean, I play it. I'm not good at it by any stretch of the imagination. Right. But, we wanted to try different things. But I didn't start what I do a year ago. When I got out of prison, I started Reality Check. And it's a great story on how I started the whole program. I got out of prison after doing 12 years.
Okay.
11 straight years.
Where did you do your time at?
Maximum security prison. I was in
Maximum security.
Yeah. I was in Atlanta, USP Atlanta. And when I was in Edgefield, I was strapped down naked, beaten and tortured by guards, and pissed on and spit on by guards, because I was fighting the abuses of the prison system. Our prison system's broke.
Oh, for sure.
And let me tell you, it's the worst fucking prison system in the free world. And people go, what do you mean? I'm not talking about third world countries. I'm talking about France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Canada. United States has the worst prison system in the free world. And it's known.
And the most people in prison.
Oh, by numbers that are... We have more people incarcerated than fucking China.
Per capita, more people.
Not even per capita. Per straight numbers.
Really?
They got 1.3 billion people, and we have more prisoners than them.
Jesus.
It's just sick.
Well, they just straight up execute people.
Everybody says that. And that's
not true?
No, it's not true.
Really?
What happens is they actually have a higher suicide rate.
Oh.
Because they dishonor their family. And they'll have suicides, or they have different ways they do certain things. So everybody's thinking, oh, they just kill them in these. And that's not true. I don't know how Iran works, or North Korea works.
Yeah.
But as far as the pre-war, but I was in prison from 96 to 2007, and I was on Con Air 16 times. That fucking movie.
Did you ever see Nick Cage?
Yeah, nah, he wasn't on there with me.
Damn it!
I actually saw Lou Pearlman. Remember
really?
Backstreet Boys and all that?
Yeah.
He was the founder of the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all that.
Okay.
Fat fuck stole all that money from them.
Jeez.
And when he was on a plane, I was getting off a plane, the plane, and he was getting on it, so they have you off to the sides, and I saw him, and I said, "They're gonna fuck you, Lou, fuck you," and I was yelling at him, and I'm getting yelled at and all that shit, and fucking.
Oh my god.
He was like all fucking scared.
So what were you doing? You said you were fighting the system when you were inside. That's why you got pissed on and you got your ass beat by prison guards. What were you doing?
Well, the prison system killed 3 of my friends. Literally killed 3 of my friends. One guy had a medical issue and he was having chest pains. His arms hurt, and goes to medical. They say, "Get out of here." He ends up going to work. They have in prison, you work. People think you don't work. You work. So he works for what they call CMS, which is like they maintain the prison, like the plumbers and this. It's called CMS.
Yeah.
So he works for CMS. The guy he works for, a guard, tells him, "Hey, get to medical. You look terrible." This guy, James Archer, a good friend of mine, lived 3 cells from me. Mm-hmm. I used to play horseshoes. Believe me, they had horseshoes.
Wow.
They took them off the fucking yard quick. Anyway, he goes in there and they said, "Get out of here. You got Maalox. Here's Maalox. You got gas." He walks into the unit. He looks at myself, another guy named Jimmy Brown. We're looking at TV sets. He walks in the unit and he goes, "Man, I'm dying." We look at him. He's pale. He sits down. He keels over. We put him in a chair. He keels over and dies right in front of us. Leaving the medical. Dies. Now, I don't know if you ever saw a man die. I've seen many people die. The first thing that happens is they whatever's in them comes out.
What, they shit all over themselves?
Yeah, shit. It's just, there's no nerves holding it and whatever it is. So he died. And they're yelling, "Lockdown, lockdown." You got to run to your cell and all that shit. And when they picked him up, they come with a golf cart down to the unit. They were now my cell was about 3 cells from the main door on the bottom floor, and I'm looking out. We have windows this big. They're not real windows. You know what I mean? You couldn't fit through them. Even you couldn't. You know, a good shaped guy like you, not no fat fuck like me, can get through that. And they were laughing. They thought it was a joke, and they came to every cell in the prison. And they said, "Oh, you saw him hit his head." I said, "Fuck you. You killed him." I go off on them. Boom. They throw me in the hole for 11 straight months. I was in the hole for 3 years out of my 11. In the hole.
Is that the same as the shoe?
The shoe. Special housing unit.
Okay.
Hole, special housing unit, segregation.
Just so basically you're in a little concrete box by yourself.
Yeah, well, sometimes you're with somebody else.
Okay.
Most of the time you're with somebody else. It depends on how bad you get, how violent you are, whatever it is.
You don't get to see the light of day ever.
Well, they're supposed to, they call it, give you rec 1 hour a day.
Oh, okay.
And when you get rec, it's in a dog cage, a literally 10 by 20 cage, like a fucking animal. Now, that's when they give you that. They don't always give you that. And they have the greatest line in the world to not give you rec. For the safe and orderly running of the institution, no rec today. Bad inclement weather, no rec. It's all bullshit. They just don't want to fucking give you rec.
Right.
So I've been in there. I was there when they didn't give you a fucking shower or anything for 3 weeks. When I tell you, you don't know how bad you smell. You smell yourself. That's how fucking bad you are. No fucking, nothing. It's just disgusting what they do to people. Our system is fucked up. But I was in the hole for 3 years. And what, am I a little fucked up? Absolutely, I'm fucked up to a degree. I think I came out of it pretty good. I'm somewhat normal, and I think. But, I don't think people, obviously, I believe in rehabilitation. I'm a different man. When I was younger, I was a wild guy. I never, ever say I didn't belong in prison because I was robbing. I robbed 15, 18 million. I was hooked up with organized crime. I was a violent guy. I didn't hurt, like I was telling you, I never hurt people who weren't in my business. But that doesn't make it right either. I put fear into people. You rob in a jewelry store. I never hurt somebody during a robbery. Never. When I robbed a jewelry store, and I robbed one here in Sarasota.
Did you really?
Yeah, I robbed all over the fucking state. I robbed over 20-something stores.
Wow.
And the FBI got me. But anyway, as I'm going to prison, I go, listen, I get caught. It was a big deal when I got caught and all that.
So it was mainly in Florida you were robbing?
No, all up and down the East Coast.
Okay.
I was known as the biggest jewel robber in the country. Still am. That's where I go on TV a lot on those. And I've been doing that since I got out, actually, of prison. But anyway, so I never complained about prison. Again, I don't believe anybody should be tortured. I don't believe, and I think there should be rehabilitation. Remember, I went to prison at 34 years old. I got out at 46. Now I'm 59. I'll be 60 this year. I was born in 1961. I know you're looking at me like, you old fuck, Larry.